Okay, now that you've created your entity model, I'm going to show you how simple it is to actually use the model within your various different classes. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go to my sample project here, and just for demonstration purposes I'm just going to open up the Solution Explorer, and I'm just going to take Form 1, and onto that I'm just going to drop a button, and I'm just going to use this really to launch some code to show you how you actually use these entities before I go and show you how we put this into our coffee shop application. If I just double click on that button there and drop into the button 1 click event, you'll notice that what we've now got is, instead of having our actual server explorer and our tables, we've actually got the representation of that we can just call. And if you remember earlier, I called my coffee shop database, and you can see that here I've got coffee shop database entities, and that's a class now. And if I choose that and then give that a name, so I'm just going to call my just going to call that coffee shop database entities, not the greatest name but that will be fine, equals new, and then just put my coffee shop data entities. You can see I've created an instance there of this thing called coffee shop database entities, which is actually modelling the database over there. And if you have a look inside that now, you'll see that there are various different properties and methods that you can access. For example, you can create entities, create objects, and you'll also find you've got representations here, look, of all of the various different tables. The other nice thing is you've got actual objects that represent each of these. So if I now just go TBL, you can see here that Visual Studio has generated me class versions of all of those tables. They're completely disconnected from the database, but it'll allow me to actually make object versions and then save those object versions back to the database. So if I wanted to make for example a product here, I could just choose that there, table product, give the instance a name, so product 1. I could say equals new product, okay, oops, sorry, new table product, and in the usual way I can cheat a little bit here, and I can see now that here are all of the various different properties that I can put in. So if I wanted to give the product a description, so in my coffee shop I could call that large coffee. Excellent. I can carry on and give that a price. So it's in a decimal, so I'm going to have to do something like 199, and it's because it's decimal, just don't forget your M there at the end. And if I wanted to put anything else in there, like for example the image, which we'll look at later, or the product ID. Incidentally, we don't put the product ID in because that's going to be an auto number, remember, but we could if we wanted to. So I'm just going to put those two bits in there for now. And you can see now, oops, is that just, yeah, bracketed okay. You can see that now I've got a new version of my product, which if I wanted to, I could now very, very easily save to my database. I just need to say CSDE dot, and you can see I've got these various options here. I've got add to products, so I can call that method and I can pass it my new product straight in like that. Finally, if I want to save the changes to my database, I've got the save changes option here, and if I just save that, you can see now when I run that piece of code, that is going to save my new product straight into my database. And if I just run that through, press my button, and that's that gone straight into the database.